guys. Alrighty, so we're looking at polar again today. Um, and I'm hoping that as we go through it today, you guys have a much better understanding of what's happening, and the value of polar for testing and development. You may notice that yesterday and again now, I just do L&D here. You can do these other nodes, but it just takes longer to start up and it's a bit more complicated. And as Simon mentioned earlier, most companies and people use LND. There's nothing wrong with these two. They're just a bit harder to develop on, especially in the beginning. Yeah. One of the things I want to show you guys here is, so like I mentioned, polar is great for testing and development, right? It helps you visualize the nodes, etc. Whereas when you're really developing or you're using the LNCLI, which is the lightning version of what you saw yesterday, it's not visual, so sometimes it's harder to see things, etc. As well as spinning up these nodes. You guys are all really smart. You can do it, but it still takes some time and a bit of installation, right? So this is why Polar is great. It does all that for you. And another nice thing is, so at IBEX, for example, when we were developing our APIs, we used Polar as our test Lightning network, right? So we directly call these Lightning nodes from our API, if that makes sense. So let's say you want to build your own Lightning API, right? Polar would be something where you could do it easily. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, let's start opening some channels. And feel free, raise your hand, stop me if you have a question or if you want to see something. Really, I want this to be interactive. Because like I said, I don't really have much of a plan for this part. And after I show you Polar, I'm going to show you something called Voltage, which is another Lightning provider that enables you to actually spin up real Lightning nodes. They give you a 7-day free trial. And so that would be great for if you really want to test real Bitcoin and real Lightning nodes. So I'll show you that after Polar. Is there any questions already before I start, or no? Looking good? Looking good. Cool. All right, cool. So we're where we were at yesterday. We have a couple nodes. Some are connected, some are not. And now I'm going to show you a bit more about how you find the information of the nodes that you need, let's say if you were going to develop around this. So you click on a node, you can see the info. So it's Lightning, it's LND, tells you the version, the status, the balance, right, etc. Something important that you would need when you're developing is the pub key, right? Because when you're opening channels or someone's opening a channel to you, the pub key is one of the main identifiers, right? So that's why they have a copy button there. Let's check out the connect, right? So a bit more in-depth stuff here. These are all, obviously important. The admin macaroon is another very important identifier that also, if you're building on Lightning, you want to keep this as private as possible. Because if someone gets your admin macaroon, like Simon here, man, you're in for some bad luck. So that's the admin macaroon. The TLS cert also you'll need to store probably somewhere in an environment variable. Again, those are sort of the 3 pieces minimum that you need if you're going to develop around Polar. And yeah, they're the same things, but sometimes you want to store it as hex, sometimes you want a contiguous file path, etc. Okay. So here just gives you another place to open channels, not in a visual way. Also, pay invoices. This is pretty cool, actually. So you can interact directly with the terminal of the node, right? Let's see. That's pulls up. Oh, will it be a different page? Yeah. It was up. Yep, exactly. I think it's probably running on a SIGNet or a testnet. I'm not sure specifically which one, but yeah.
But I guess no one can connect to your nodes here from outside.
Correct. Yeah, it's localhost. It's all local. Yeah.
When establishing the potential, why is it important to define the capacity? And
Why is it important to pick a specific capacity?
what determines the
So yeah, great question. So basically, the more capacity you have, the more money you can move around, right? So let's say you're just you running a node, you want to try and make some money being around a node. Most likely, you would want much more capacity for a node if you're connecting to another big capacity node, right? If you have a channel that you expect is going to do a lot of payments back and forth, you most likely want to commit more capacity to that channel. And this gets into pretty deep channel management where it's an art, it's not a science. So let's say you have 1 Bitcoin total, and you get to choose between opening 1 channel, right? 1 huge big channel with one Bitcoin capacity, or you could split it into 10 separate channels to different nodes, right? There's different, use cases or scenarios where you want to do that. But what I'm trying to explain is it's really, like I said, it's an art, it's not a science. There are programs that handle that for you and help you and make suggestions on, hey, you need a channel like this, or you need to rebalance here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Does that answer your question? Cool. Any other questions right now? Sweet. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into this terminal, but I'm just trying to explain that if you wanted to get in and run these commands yourself, this is how to do it. And when you're building the API, right, let's say you're building a payment API yourself from scratch. What you're really doing is the API, right? Someone calls your API. The API is then making these essentially command line requests. So someone calls your API, that request then talks to the Lightning node, and let's say, hopefully it's just help again. Cool. Huh? Oh, cool. So LNCLI help tells you all of the all of the commands that you can do. As you can see, there's a lot. Let's just try and find a simple one. List peers. List channels. Yeah, let's do list channels. All right. So this is showing this is listing all of the channels that Carol currently has open. As you can see, there's a lot of information. That's all the information about just one channel, right? So there's a lot going on. Cool. So I think you guys get it. You get to run the terminal straight in the puller, so that's pretty cool. Docker node logs, just some logs. You can restart the node. So get some advanced node options. Yeah, not much. So yeah, I pretty much took you through everything there. Does anyone have any ideas of what they want to see, or should I just move over to the actual setting up a node on voltage? What do we think? Before I move over to voltage and set up a real node and show you how that works? All right. Yeah, you might have to. Does everyone get Polar though? You get, the purpose and how you would use it if you want to build your own payment API? That makes sense? Blaze through it real fast. What's up, man? Oh, thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
My question is about for opening the network. Once you open the network and connect to that is the same one as well. And then you have to open a channel to make transactions among the people in the network. So my question is, with Polar, where is the liquidity?
It's fake. It's fake. It's just a simulation.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing. It's very great for testing. Yeah.
What you answered him.
Huh?
You've not had what you
Okay. Gotcha.
answered. Amplify with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So his question was, like where do the funds come from essentially when you set up the node in Polar, and all of the funds in Polar are just simulated. So you can go to town, you can create channels with however much capacity you want. Yeah, it's all fake Bitcoin.
So for the curious ones, if you want to play around with your Polar, you can go to Lightning Development Kits and check out the LND node. So here you'll get some code to test.
LDK is slightly different than LND, but
Yeah, LDK, yeah.
yeah.
So just go to, this is for your curiosity's sake. So that's it. You'll find all the documentations, and then they have a small demo of how to build, how to interact with your Polar application. So you can get transactions, your balances, just a simple web API. That's it.
Can I log in not on there? Oh. Oh, geez. I just realized what I'm doing, man.
Just a second.
So, when you set up Polar, you create a network, right?
Mhm.
When writing code, how do you, how does the connection work? Do you connect to the network or
Yeah.
connect to each node?
Yeah, so great questions. A short answer, you connect to the node, but I'll show you how. See these endpoints? So if you look like gRPC host, REST host, depending on if you want to make gRPC calls or if you want to make REST, you would just basically make requests to that URL that you see. Okay. There you go.
So when you create an API using Power, which to my understanding is a kind of a test toolkit. So, like on now on the main network, are you able, are there other platforms where you can test your API first?
So what I'm about to show you would sort of be the next step,
Like
where you have,
alternative.
yeah, you have your API and you want to change from a fake Polar to a real node. This would be an easy way to do it. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, but this specific product would be a good way to do it. Does that make sense? Wait for this spot. Cool. I hate when it does that. Why does it do that? I'm good.
Anyone having issues with Polar? All good. Some people had Docker issues. Did you manage to resolve it?
Okay, yeah.
All good. Some people had Docker issues. Did you manage to resolve it?
I'm logged into voltage.cloud. So if you guys want to follow along or want to do this later, the link is voltage.cloud. So full transparency, Voltage is actually a competitor to IBEX in a certain way, right? So one thing I want to underscore here is the beauty of working in Bitcoin is that you can technically be at different companies, right? All sort of building similar things or the same thing. But, you know, if this other company wins, that means Bitcoin wins. I'm invested in Bitcoin, so we all sort of win. So that's one of my favorite parts about working in Bitcoin is that, yes, even though we have competitors, we're all sort of working for the same goal. So, hence me showing you one of our competitors' tools. But anyway, let's do it. It's cool stuff. So, let's go in. Cool. So it seems like they let you create either a Lightning node, a Bitcoin Core node, or a BTC Pay server. BTC Pay server is essentially like a specialized version of a Lightning node, or it's a Lightning node with a bit more built around it. Sort of like it has its own API, etc. So let's go with Lightning node here. Oh, are they gonna make me put my credit card in? Syncing issues. Cool. So just to be clear here, if you were going to make a real node, you would click mainnet, right? Let's try MutinyNet. Never messed with it before, but let's see what's up. Oh wow, okay, it's like a username almost. Cool. Yeah.
So you picked Lightning node,
Mm-hmm.
but that requires a Bitcoin node. You didn't pick, so it's using what?
It has a Bitcoin node under, because every Lightning node needs a minimum pruned node, but I think pretty much all Lightning nodes run on a fully synced. Yeah.
Are you getting your own node, or are you sharing one across the voltage network?
Great question. Don't know. You'll have to ask Voltage. Okay, let's go. And just to be clear again, so Voltage is cool because they handle all of like the AWS or whatever hosting provider hosting, so you don't have to worry about that. They obviously help you, like they install everything, so you don't have to worry about installing everything. So they definitely bring value. But the difference is Voltage would be an example of a technology where you're still required to know how to run the node and to manage the node, right? And also you would be responsible for any liquidity, right? They don't, from what I understand, they don't give you liquidity to use. All right, so right now the node is syncing with the blockchain. Apparently it can take 10 minutes. So let's see what we can see right now. So like Polar, it has all the connections, right? And pretty cool. So if you were going to do this, It has its own API endpoint that you could, I'm assuming, make API requests to that would then, like Polar, hit those LNCLI commands. Yeah, tells you what cloud it's on. It's on AWS. Yeah, cool. Another cool technology I want to mention here is LN Bits. LN Bits is sort of like an open source version of IBEX. Again, I don't think they give you liquidity or again, it's just much more, you're responsible for much more of the work, but still great. It's open source. One of IBEX's first products actually was built using LN Bits' API and stuff. So again, great technology to check out for Lightning. Cool, so it looks like it's still booting up. Is there any questions where we're at already? I know we haven't seen much, but that's all.
So my second question is about project to project. You said it's used for testing development, say for making an app again. So my question is, say for an app, example,
One more time.
example, an app for sending some messages.
Okay.
My question is, can I use such a service that is testing SaaS, generate messages and say, so and so is sending SaaS to so and so with a message? If I can make such an app that sends just telephone messages. This is just a question in regards to use of technology.
So you're saying if you built an app that was a like messaging app, could you send the messages through Polar? Is that what you asked?
Yes, actually, it's a messaging app backed by users on Polar with sites on testnet. The app works to send messages. So how can the users know if they're really sending each other Bitcoin? It's just transferring messages in iteration.
Oh, I
That is
see.
the question.
I see.
I mean, if you're talking end users in the app, I don't think they could know. They would have an idea because the invoices are different. So just like the addresses are different, right? There's different types of addresses. You'll see, we can go back to Polar and I'll show you, but their invoices start with like LNT maybe, or so like Lightning testing, whereas a real Lightning invoice is LNBC. So pretty quickly they would see, oh, this is a fake invoice. Because if they tried to scan that fake invoice with another app or whatever, right, or if they, right, they would be able to figure out, oh, this is a test net invoice, essentially.
We can navigate bypass the invoicing and don't have to show the end user the invoice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. Yeah, yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, it would work as long as everything is in Polar and your app doesn't want to send sats out or receive them in. But yeah, just as a local network, I don't see why. Yeah, great question.
So you're asking about Machankura? Like how they do it? Yeah. So basically, this allows you to like transfer Bitcoin offline, like on a feature phone. But the way Machankura have done it, they have their own node there. Like they have a Lightning node. So the application is built on top of their own node. So they're able to manage like whatever liquidity that's going on in there. And whenever you're sending, they always send you like like an SMS with the address you're supposed to be using or the invoice. So it's basically the same, but now it's much closer to like people using the feature phone and without internet. So this is transferring Bitcoin without internet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing our chain is taking too long.
Maybe if we
Internet has been a bit slow.
oh, are we up? Why is it? It seems like it's up, but it's locked.
Yeah, it's up, but it's locked. Oh, okay, cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right. Ah, it's still syncing up, huh?
Hmm?
You see how many alerts?
Oh. Hmm. What's this? Oh no, not gonna mess around. Let's see. What else can we see while we're doing this? Wouldn't have any, right?
Okay, we can look at this. This is interesting. So channel settings, right? So if you are a node operator, this is going to be your daily, daily work, right? Changing the minimum channel size, right? Because an important thing to understand about Lightning is, there are recommendations for the minimum channel size, right? Because if your channel is, let's say, 10,000 sats, or, that's super small, but I don't know, what's the recommended, Megasley? You probably know, like a million sats, or? Right. Right. So if you're really trying to be a real Lightning node, making money, or even just not even, you don't even necessarily have to want to make money as a routing node, but if you want your node to be able to route payments at all, even just let's say you want to run a node so that you can privately use Bitcoin for yourself. You don't want to make money, you just want to use a node so that you could be a sovereign, free individual using Bitcoin, then yeah, you would still have to manage all this, right? So yeah, minimum channel size, maximum channel size, right? These are all, like I said earlier, it's not a science, it's an art. So there's a lot of experimentation that goes into setting all these parameters when you're running a node, right? Yeah. What else? Yep, so that's all the channel settings they let you change. Any questions? Yeah.
Is it possible to fund a channel? Yeah, with a multi-sig. So a multi-sig on one side, do people have to sign off on creating that channel?
I don't know for sure, but it sounds like it'd be possible, yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. And that's
That would have protected Megasley from the hack, right? Do that?
maybe, yeah. And that brings up a good point too, is sometimes you can open a channel. So all we talked about today is I'm opening a channel to Simon. Simon opens a channel to me, right? So that requires one of us to have all of the funds. Now, certain node implementations, I don't know if LND supports this, but they're called dual funded channels where both parties can set or put up some of the channel, right? So instead of me opening it to Simon, we open a channel together and the channel starts out as balanced so that we can immediately start pushing back and forth. Instead of me opening it to him, I can only send, he can only receive, right?
Huh?
Right. Cool, let's see if this thing is started up. Let's get some coins while we're here. So MutinyNet is another like test net essentially. Yeah. Node must be running. Maybe let's check out LM bits while we're here. So yeah, like I said, LM bits, an account management system, fairly similar to IBEX Hub, IBEX's main product. Like I said, they're an open source version. They're great for small time people to use, startups, etc. Like I said, IBEX is still technically just a startup. And about 2 years ago, when we built our first version of IBEX Pay for El Salvador, LN Bits was what we built around. So it's really cool stuff. I highly recommend checking out LN Bits. Okay, I probably can't set it up because the node is still turning on. Okay, so this is one of Voltage's sort of side products called Surge, where so a big thing with any Lightning company is monitoring, right? So, like we said earlier, one of the big benefits of Lightning is its privacy. Now, it's not exactly a trade-off, but sometimes it can be hard to report and monitor your node, right? To be able to tell a business, this is how much we have, or that's not too hard, but more, data sciencey, like how much transactions per second, etc. Reporting on your node is, a job in and of itself, not just managing it, but reporting it, being able to show graphs of all interesting data about your node. So it seems like Voltage has a product for that. I'm learning here with you guys too. So. Interesting. So they show you a feed of Lightning transactions. It's pretty cool.
Oh, what's it?
Let me show them the tool.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So as you wait for this to sync, there's a tool I've been working on. It's still not ready. It's not production ready. So just like Bitcoin, in LND we have something called neutrino. It's like running Lightning without needing an actual Bitcoin node. So it's called neutrino. So it's a lightweight, faster way to fire up your LND node. So I'm gonna show you that one. Give me a second. This is the thing about live demos. You know, it goes like this.
Love the name.
So this is the, okay, it's still not ready for production, but it's working. So it helps you install Bitcoin. So first you can install your Bitcoin core, and then after that it should be able, you can choose, like it usually checks, do you have enough capacity to run a full node? If you don't, it gives you the option of running a full node. So it should be running.
How much capacity would you expect? How much capacity would you need?
About 600 GB.
Okay. Oh, you're saying storage capacity?
Yeah, storage capacity. So if I'm running a prone node, I hope it doesn't chew my bundles. So this is the prone node that has been fired up. So as you can see, I have to cancel this. Wait.
Why? What will it show?
Yeah.
What will it show? What are you worried about it showing?
I'm not sure I have enough bundles for a prone node right now. Yeah, but basically, it's just a simple tool to help people on board. Like you can run and manage your Bitcoin and Lightning. So that's the Bitcoin bit of it. Then let's go to the Lightning side. So here you can return. I haven't fully optimized it, so it's still in alpha version.
What's this built in?
So this one I've used Python, just a basic Python one. Yeah, the GUI was a bit crazy. I had to use Chikinta for those who have done GUI building.
Is that like the framework?
Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully in future I can switch it to Tauri. It's a Rust front-end framework. Yeah. Yes. It's compiled across Linux, Windows, and Mac. I think once they are ready, once I publish the binaries, I'll just share the link in the group. And then you can test and give me feedback. So currently, yeah, so if you were to run LND, since our main lessons have been around LND, so it will first install your LND. So it's downloading. Okay, forgive it. There's still some bugginess. Yeah, LND is installed. Now you can run LND. Should throw a pop-up. So every time yeah, there we go. There's our LND. So
You have to
it's
turn off.
already in use.
Turn off Polar.
Polar is chewing. Polar is blocking my bot. So let me close Polar. So if I try again. No, still on. Yeah, so these are the issues. So if you're ever running a Bitcoin or Lightning node, always make sure the ports are open. So for this, the communication port is usually 1009 or 9735, if I'm not wrong, like the RPC port for LND. So if you're having an application that's being run on that port, you'll always get an error. So let's try again. Yeah, seems to be. Let me see if I can create all of it. Yeah, so whenever you're creating a wallet, it always, the first thing it asks for is your password. So let me just put a simple password. But I know I already have a wallet, so it might not fully go through the process. But whenever you're creating, it will create a seed for you, like the passwords, passphrases. Memory seed phrases.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. We haven't even talked about seed phrases, have we? We should mention that.
So it will ask you if you wanna encrypt your passphrase. So it's a two-step security. So this is in case someone gets hold of your wallet, like your wallet.dat. So with this, yes, they get the file, but they can't decrypt it. So it's telling me I already have an existing wallet. So let's say I already had a wallet, right? So let me try and unlock the wallet. So the moment I just unlock it, you can see LND is now unlocked. So this means my wallet is open for, like I can check the details of the wallet. Let's just try it right now. So whenever you unlock a wallet, it's now connected to your LND node. Like you can move funds, you can open channels. That's what I mean by unlocking a wallet. And you can't open a channel without first creating a wallet. So those are the steps. You first create the wallet. Then after creating your wallet, you have to unlock it. And then after unlocking it now, it gives you the capability to open channels, send funds from one person to the other. So let me just copy this command. So like Scott had shown, if I see how you get all the commands. So this means our node is running. So if I say list peers, let me see.
So now you're able to see.
It's just LNCI peers. Oh, it is this person.
Since this is a neutrino of the speaker has gone on. So since this is a neutrino node, if I say list peers, you should see other global connected peers. So as you can see, I'm able to see all the nodes that are connected globally.
So this is the beauty of Neutrino. You see, I didn't have to run a Bitcoin node in order to run my LND. So now I can easily open channels. So these are my current peers. You can see their IP addresses, the type of sync they have. Are they inbound or not? The number of sats sent and received. So that's basically it. So if you don't want to run the whole Bitcoin node, try and look into Neutrino. This is their website. Okay, let me close this first. So Neutrino is a solution by Lightning Labs. So this is the GitHub. And someone earlier asked me how they can contribute to LND and Lightning. So just go to choose the one the language you're good at. So if you're good in Golang, LND is your to go to. If you're good in C, go to C Lightning. So for example, for LND, go to Lightning Labs on GitHub, then choose the no. No, actually it's a separate one. So it's under Lightning Network. So under Lightning Network, go to LND, have a look at the source code, and then you can always check out the issues. For those who have used GitHub, so once you find an issue you can handle, you can maybe do a comment. Now this is open source contribution. So in case this has motivated you enough to start contributing to Lightning. So that's it. They're doing. You can always throw in up here. I guess that's it. I don't know if our node synced. Yeah, finally. I guess it needed some time. Should we get some? Okay, thank you.
Sweet. All right, so our node is synced and ready to go. So as you can see, since we're on a test net, we need some fake test coins. So Mutiny Net provides a nice faucet here. Let's go 10 million, why not? Next 30 seconds, cool. Cool, that was fast. All right, so we have about 10 million sats. On the problem.
Yeah, we're on Mutiny net.
Okay, sorry. I thought that was available, but if you're spinning up a node, like on mainnet, the best way for you to see your node and visualize it is through a node management software like Thunderhub. There are other ones. There is RTL. There are a couple of other ones, but then you might want to just create an account there, or maybe just once you hit you and all you have to do is to log in with the same password you have here, and then you have a beta view. You can open channels there, you can create, you can close channels, you can do pretty much anything you want to do on Lightning nodes, on your Lightning nodes on that platform. But this way, it's on a very beautiful UI for you to see. You see your channels, you see the balances on the outbound and inbound part of it. So yeah, you might want to also try that out.
Great point, Megasleep. Cool. Yeah, has anyone else created this? Just curious. Anyone else want to? Yeah.
Mutiny net? Mutiny net? Yeah.
It's a version of it, yeah. There's sort of a bunch of different test nets. Can you trace? I don't think so. Oh, Ellen bits. Nice. Okay, so you want me to try and open it? Is it a UniNet? Oh.
So, you said elements using to manage your node. For example, now if you have an organization that you are running a big node somehow, and then from inside the organization, you have several people specifically managing three people or so. So right now, you know, always backup is coming up now and then. Do you think, or maybe someone will go to the backend and do something that will affect the whole thing? Without the authorization of the other two parties which are supposed to be managing the multi-party computing issue.
Are you saying, like, would that protect you, or are you saying, is it possible?
Like, does LMPs focus on the security concern that kind of set up in the business?
That's a great question. Does Ellen Bits focus on like the security if, let's say, a business is setting it up? Honestly, I can't say one way or another. From what I remember, I think, like, just for example, there's been an exploit in Ellen Bits before, but that's not very uncommon in the space, right? Like, there's people constantly trying to hack and whatever, but yeah, it depends. But you sort of asked, like, if a bad hack or a bad actor gets into Ellen Bits, could they then do something to the back end that would, like, send funds somewhere, right? And I think the answer is yes. That's a good point, that if someone gets access to your Ellen Bits and Ellen Bits is managing your node, then they have access to your node now. So yeah, it's potentially opening up some surface area for an attacker to enter in. Great question.
Hey, Simon, what do you think? What should we do? Oh, cool. Awesome.
Our friend up here is generously creating a node so that we can have a bit more of an interesting demo here. Thanks, man. Any other questions while we're waiting for that?
Oh, no. Oh, you did? Okay. Cool. So we'll wait for that to spin up. What'd you say?
I'm seeing how will you establish, will it appear somewhere there,
Right.
or what's supposed to happen?
I'll probably open a channel to you. Maybe you open a channel. Like, we'll figure it out. It's kind of bullshitting up here, if you can't tell. Is it done? Okay. And you did a mutiny? A mutiny one? Okay. Oh, there's a sync. Okay.
Because testnet was telling me it has some issues.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll wait for that to open. What else could we do?
Let's check out Ellen Bits directly, just so maybe it's a bit clearer what they do.
.com.
Right, so Ellen Bits is similar to Thunder Hub, what Meggersley mentioned. Right, it lets you keep track of accounts, all of your wallets, lets you, manage your node basically. Awesome, so they just have a demo box ready to go. That's amazing. All right, so as you can see, this is just a pretty cool UI that would be running on top of your node, right? So you would have to get those connection strings that I showed you earlier in Polar, right? The admin macaroon, the pub key, etc., and connect it to Ellen Bits, this front end that you could then just manage your node with, right? Let's create an invoice. All right, so I don't want any of you guys to waste your sats, so let me see if this works. So I'm going to try and pay this invoice with one of my Bitcoin wallets. Alrighty, 2 cents, let's go. So I'm going to send it. Awesome. Pretty good real-time update there. So now you can see I have 10 sats. What else do we want to do? If they have Ellen URL, that would be cool. Oh, another nice thing about Ellen Bits is they have all of these extensions, right? So, like, look at all this stuff that they have. It's really cool. The TPOS is an open source version of well, not like they copied us, but I'm just saying it's an open source version of a POS software similar to IBEX Pay, one of our products. So basically, let me just show you. But like I said, what's nice about LM Bits is they have all these extensions already built, and as you can see right there, you can build your own, and then people could be using your extension, which is pretty cool. All right, let's just keep it simple. All right, cool. So now we just created a demo POS. So let's open it up. Right, so this is pretty cool, right? They have this already built for you. So this is right out of the box, plug and play. If you set up a node and then you use Allen bits, now you have a POS built for you, right? And since this is all open source, you can take this code, you can change it in your own Allen bits instance to suit your needs. You can make it look different. But yeah, I just think it's really cool that they give you all these extensions already built, right? So let's go. Or yeah, can we do sats instead of dollars? Right, so just imagine this is in a store, you're buying a coffee or whatever, right? This is on a little iPad or even a phone, right? You could set this up on a phone really easily. You could have a restaurant where each person in the restaurant or each server has this set up on their phone, right? So if someone wants to pay Bitcoin at the restaurant, they pull up their phone, here it is, and then come on. Sweet. Cool. So, and then it resets, right? Because it is expecting to just keep processing more payments. And if we go back to this server, we should be able to see maybe, is there a balance? Huh? Refresh. Right. Oh, but you can see up here, the wallet now has 25 sats, right? Oh, cool. Okay. So let's do a quick giveaway of sats here. So this is going to be first come, first serve. Whoever grabs the QR first. Let's get up your Blink wallets. And this I'm going to be demoing something called LNURL. LNURL we're going to go way deeper into tomorrow. Most Lightning providers have implemented LNURL, and you saw it earlier. Simon showed the Lightning addresses where you could send Lightning to what looks like an email address. That's built using LNURL. You might be wondering, okay, so now there's this third layer, LNURL, right? It's not technically a layer 3.
Which is like 2.5?
Right. It's basically just, it's built using Lightning, and you might have to run an extra server for it, but besides that, it's all Lightning, and it'll make sense in a second here.
Hardware focused LUR. Let's just see. I don't like how it says hardware. Yeah, thing.
All right, get ready. So what we're about to see is called LNURL withdrawal. So there's two directions for LNURL in general, right? So withdrawal is pretty cool because, as you're about to see, you're about to pull sats from the screen into your phone. I said earlier, I think to you back there, that the typical flow is the receiver creates an invoice, and then me, the payer, pays the invoice. LNURL is cool because technically the sender creates what is called a withdrawal, which I'm about to do, and then you take the money, therefore I'm sending you money. So it's what LNURL is, or why it's cool, is because it added these different flows that enable different user experiences, right? So we're about to do a giveaway, right? right? That's pretty cool. In the other direction, so not a withdrawal, the other direction is called an LMURL pay. What that does is instead of, so we said earlier, right, that each invoice is one payment. So every time you do a payment in Lightning, it's one invoice. That's great, but what if you, let's say a restaurant or a bar is doing a drink promotion, right? Where it's a special drink, it's this price every single time, it's 1,000 shillings or whatever, and the price isn't going to change. They don't want to have to keep, let's say, spinning up an invoice every time, right? Maybe they want it to be like they put the code on the wall, and you just send money to the code, and then, or a better example would be like a beer machine. What is it? Like you know what I'm talking? Like what's the word? Yeah, like a beer dispenser, right? So they would use probably LNURL to keep that the same because beer always costs $1 or whatever. You pay the LNURL, and then it would dispense beer. So, but let me just show you. Stop talking. At least 10, okay. All right, so 2 of you are going to be the lucky people who get 10 sats. So get ready. All right. And here we go. So none of you have withdrawn it yet, huh? Okay, nice, nice. So now you might have to click accept or something.
Did you get it? You got it? Okay. That's in, oh no, you have to probably click. Oh, really?
Okay. I've never used Blink Wallet. I don't know. You got it too? Which wallet is that? It's Blink? Okay. There you go. Oh, you might have got invalid because once they get taken, they sort of are invalid. So, cool. So, got a couple lucky people, 10 sats. But as you can see, it's pretty cool, right? Because this is, so an interesting thing we did with IBEX is we worked with some Mexican football teams, soccer, football, whatever. And every time someone scored a goal, we put an LNURL withdrawal in the, on a screen, on a big screen, right? And then whoever, the lucky person was, got a free drink or something. Whoever scanned it first after the goal gets a free drink, right? So just enables really cool stuff. In the other direction, you could do voting. So at the Bitcoin conference, I remember we built one where I think it was like voting for what song you want to put on. So instead of a withdrawal, we put the other direction, an LMURL pay, and then we made it 1 sat, so no one's losing that much money. And you just send a sat to the LMURL pay, and then that would be a vote towards whatever song you want.
Oh my God, okay.
Sweet. So let's check that out. Hey, I don't know. We'll check it out. I don't know if like we'll need Spotify or something, probably, but yeah, probably. Oh yeah. So you have to plug into the shop or Spotify API, but still really cool. See what else we got.
Any other ideas like what we should show?
Cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So Simon's about to show you guys Terminal, which is like a professional, just another tool to manage lightning nodes, essentially.
Thank you, Scott. So I hope you have learned something from that. So the last bit to close the node running. So to show how you can easily manage your node, so we're gonna check something called terminal.
Yeah.
So this is a tool by Lightning Labs. So the first step you need to do is come to loop. So loop helps you connect to your node. You remember that public key we showed you? This one. So this one. So this is what you usually copy. And then you must have something called the LND Connect for those who are curious. So tonight you can go try this out. Create a node on, use Signet, and then you can come here and connect. Because Signet is global, so you should easily be able to connect to Loop. And then they have some nice steps. They'll tell you what to do. So you install the terminal, then copy the pair phrase, the one I was showing you. The one it generates, it's like a seed word. And then from there, you click connect. Then with this, you're able now to see what your node is doing, the liquidity, the level of connectivity. So if I go back to terminal, you're able to see the performance of nodes. So here's wallet of Satoshi. You can even open a channel with them if you have liquidity. So it also helps you with channel opening and closing, channel management basically. So if you wanted to open a channel with them, that's it. You see, at least you need to select, you need to be logged in first. Like your node needs to be connected on terminal first. So you can check out this tool during your free time. And then there's a new feature that Taproot brought in. So currently LND, you're able to do something called, it's called Taproot Assets, whereby you can create assets on top of Lightning. So you can check that out. We did a project on it, but I won't go much into that detail, whereby you can spin up an asset on Lightning, and then from that you're able to swap between sats and your asset. Other than that, let me see, I have a demo of basic usage of Lightning. Okay, give me a second. Meanwhile, you can be asking questions as I load up that demo.
On the previous page, there's a list of the nodes. What does the centrality mean?
Yeah.
It means how. You asked, what does centrality mean on this page? It means how well connected is your node in the network. Because that essentially means you'll be able to route payments better.
You say that once you have your node, you can connect to one of these channels, right? So, is there maybe if you have any problems, can they kick you out of the channel, or do they see through performance and stuff like that?
Yeah, at some point, I'm sure they have an algo. If your node is a bad actor or unstable, they'll definitely disconnect you because now you become a liability to their own channels. Yes. So if someone opens a channel to you, you can always kick them out. Like if you don't want to connect with them, you can always like block the channel opening. Nodes being unstable, it means you have power losses, you have low liquidity, like you don't have a stable supply of liquidity, and then your bandwidth as well. Like, what's your uptime in terms of internet connectivity? So I guess this marks the end of it.
So one more thing. So you have, if you're running a node, you have the power to also choose the people that can connect to your node. I know it's free; you can connect to any node at any point in time. But when he was showing the minimum channel size and the maximum channel size, that's one way you can use to filter out the people that can connect to your node. So you can set a minimum channel size. If anybody wants to connect to you and open a channel with you, if the channel capacity they are trying to open the channel width is not up to the minimum channel capacity that you want, then it's not going to be successful. So that way you prevent small nodes. Like now, if you check wallets of Satoshi, I think they have a minimum channel size of about 5 million, if I'm not mistaken, 5 million sats. So if you want to connect to them, I think they did that because they had too many little nodes, small nodes, opening small channels like 20,000 sats, 10,000, 100,000, 500,000 sats with them, and they had to break that down by adding the channel size. And then in terms of decentrality, mentioned there, he said it's how well connected your node is. So if you check, you see the percentile. The 99th percentile there means that node, like wallet of Satoshi, it means it can reach 99% of the nodes on the network. So if you use, if you're connected to wallet of Satoshi, automatically it means you're connected to 99% of the nodes on the network. If you can reach any node within that range on the network. So if you have nodes that have lower centrality, then it means they are not really good nodes for you to connect to. But at the same time, so when you're connecting to a node, as much as it is good to connect to a node as big as Wallet of Satoshi, there are some things you need to consider as well. So now, if you want a channel, and like when you create a channel with a node like Wallet of Satoshi, what you notice is your channel will get drained very quickly. The reason why that happens is because Wallet of Satoshi is well connected, and most of the transaction that goes on the network usually passes through the node. And there's a very high chance that the transaction if you're sending payments out, if you're forwarding payments out, all the payments you're forwarding will also go through the channel you have in Wallet of Satoshi. So you can see that 10 million sats, there was a time we opened a 10 million sats channel with Wallet of Satoshi, and it got drained the same day. So all the funds moved to the other parts of the channel. So if you have a node like that, a channel like that, then you need to be able to manage them such that one of the ways you can manage them is by setting a fee, like making your fee a little bit higher, such that you don't really have too much funds flowing through that particular channel. And that way also you're sure that if any funds goes through there, you're earning something from it. And sometimes too, it's not always the best option to connect with big nodes. It's not all the time that you should connect with big nodes. Depending on what you want to do. If you're a merchant, let's say you have a wallet, and your wallet, users use your wallet, you have multiple users, right? Or maybe you're using it for payments, to receive or send out payments. Then this type of nodes are the best option to connect with, because anybody that tries to use your service will be able to reach virtually anybody on the network, because they are well connected, right? You can connect to any wallet, and somebody that uses your service, because you have a channel with wallet of Satoshi, you'll be able to reach anybody, and then your payment will not fail. But then if you're running a routing node, then they might not be the best option for you to connect with. You can connect with them, but they may not be the best option. Rather, there are other good nodes. You see, if you look at the node, look at the place, you see you have 46 of 4, 5, 6. Like if you open wallet of Satoshi, you see they have a total of about 1,500 and something channels. But then on nodes, they are connected to about 1,500 plus nodes. Okay, yeah. But then out of that 1,542 nodes, only 456 of them are considered as good pairs. And there are a couple of things that is used to rate nodes as good pairs. And one of them is uptime, capacity. There are a couple of other things. If you go through, you can see. Now, when you want to connect to nodes, you can go through the list of channels they are connected with, and then check nodes that are good pairs, but they are not really at the top, right? They do not have too many channels or too many people connected to, but they are good pairs. There are nodes like that are good pairs, but without too many channels. Those are the best nodes to connect with if you're running a routing node. Then you can just right. So this is what they used to check, the network used to check as to rate nodes as good pairs. You see, if it's online, the number of channels, if it has good routing capacity. Routing capacity is basically just the capacity your node has, and that includes your outbound and inbound capacity altogether. And then the many healthy channels. So the network also considers your channels too. So that's why when you're opening channels, you don't just open channel to any node you see. You have to research, like I said. Once you spin up your node and it is online, right? Once you have one channel opened, automatically the network knows about your node. So you can go to any explorer and then just type in your node's public key, and then you see all the details about your node. The network has records of every of those things. So the same way too, you can look up any node you want to connect with, and then check what they have to be sure that they are good to be connected to. And then that's also with channel stability. It's also important to see channel stability has to do with, I think it's connected to the uptime of your node, and also how well or how many times does payment fail. So we create things like payment failure through your channels. It's not all the times that payment goes through or you have a success on your channels. There are so many things you have to consider. There are lots of settings to take note of if you're running a routing node as opposed to running maybe a merchant, or you're just running a node for your whatever product you're building. If you're building a product, then you might not really worry much about this. Then another thing I just want to talk about is it's been shown to us already, the LNP's platform. So if you have the node open, you might want to check that out. There are lots of tools. So for every single tool that Scott and Simon showed you on LNBit, they have APIs for them. So you can use it to connect to your products, your application. You can do anything you want to do. All the extensions you see there, you can use them and give them a try. And I think the one I like most is the LN that you mentioned. We used it in so we're running a Bitcoin for beginners course, and we're looking for ways to incentivize people to learn about Bitcoin, not just, because, obviously people like to study things that are beneficial to them. So if you want to tell somebody about Bitcoin, most of the things, especially in my country generally, if you're trying to talk to somebody about something, they ask you, what am I getting in return? So we had a Bitcoin for beginners course, and we wanted to incentivize people. So when you take the course and then you take the final quiz and then you pass, we give you a voucher. This is what we used. It was very handy. So we just created the vouchers, and then all I did was to just populate them on the Google Sheet and did a little automation script in Python, so that once the person passes the quiz, automatically the voucher will be sent to them and they can redeem it for SATs. So it's very, very, very beautiful and very handy. Like I said, there are APIs, you can use it to do anything you want to do. So please just check it out. Thank you.
Did you do any homework for tonight?
No.
I was just gonna say, download Wallace Satoshi, and
Let's do the whole page.
yeah, we'll wait. Oh, you're not done yet. Oh, just one more.
Can you bring up the screen with the nodes, the list of the nodes again that we were on?
Everyone who pulled those sats out of my computer this morning, that was with LNURL. The same as the voucher that he's talking about. That's the API.
Hard to read. first so that we can do a little testing. But at this point, I think it's a bit repetitive, as you'll see, but I think we're just trying to drive the point of how stuff works. Yeah, it's going to look pretty similar to all the other channels that we've opened today, if I had to guess. So
It's actually opening in.
that's an interesting thing to talk about too. Just to mention is channel openings, since they're on-chain transactions, take much longer than actual transactions. Depending on the fees, yeah.
Yeah, it's taking time.
So we'll give it a bit, see if we can get this channel open and send our friends some fake money here.
I think it's limited. So we have to skip this. It's limited.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's working, or just time-wise here.
Anyway, I can give you an exercise to go try. You can be telling them about that.
Okay, guys, tonight's homework, very, very, very easy. Yesterday, you downloaded Blink. In the bottom right of your Blink app, there's an Earn section. I want you to come tomorrow with the Earn section, lesson 1 complete. Also, if you show up by 10, like 10 on the dot, or 9:58, we will increase the amount. Today I only gave out 1 Kenyan shilling, okay? Tomorrow, which is equal to about 10 sats. Tomorrow the sats expenditure will increase each day upon attendance, okay? But 10 on the dot, not late, if you want some sats. And your earn section complete, that's it, okay? See you tomorrow. Super. Also, download Wallet of Satoshi. That's the third part of the homework, Wallet of Satoshi. We can put it up on the screen here so you can see what it looks like. We'll put up Wallet of Satoshi there. That's what Wallet of Satoshi looks like. It's got a better scanner than Blink. So some of you scanned the thing this morning and you couldn't pull your sats. This one has a slightly better scanner, but we recommend Blink because it has the history of money lessons in it. So obviously learning about Lightning is great, but learning why Bitcoin is also important, which we covered day 1, but those lessons will walk you through the fundamentals. You're only allowed to do 1 lesson a day. on they make it so you can't just do them all at once. So they 8 lessons. So just come tomorrow with the first lesson done, wallet of Satoshi, and on time. Thank you guys. And with that, let's go find your wealth.
So that marks the end of our workshop for today. So tomorrow, come prepared to do hands-on and test some APIs. Hopefully, you build something after this. Awesome. No, it will all be in cloud. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you for coming. See you tomorrow. Yes, I'll tell them to text. Two?
So don't lose time in the morning setting up due to the internet.
Yes. I'll tell them to communicate that.